Luke, how's it going, man?
Good, thanks, dude. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for doing this. Why don't we just start out real quick? Who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
So I'm Luke Mosley, produced under the name Mosley. I'm a songwriter, producer. I'm from England, Australia, and America. Currently working in London.
Fantastic, man. So you've been with Dark Label for a while now.
Yeah.
Um, what were things in your production business? What were things like before you joined? What prompted you to want to reach out for help? What were you struggling with?
Uh, I wanted to. I wanted more of my time in the studio to be paid time in the studio as opposed to stuff on spec that is so often seemingly required in the music industry. So before that, I was working with, a lot of artists on labels and a lot of independent artists, but, not all of that was actually bringing in money unless they cut the songs. So I
Right.
was kind of feeling a little bit undervalued in terms of my time and the amount of effort I put into creating like art with artists. And yeah, I think I just saw either someone posted about you or I saw one of your posts, and it was a free consultation call, which is my favorite price, for a consultation call. So I reached out and we had a chat.
It made sense. Yeah, cool. So you're working with some cool artists, but had to. I mean, this is a thing that we deal with a lot, especially with folks that have been in the game for a little while. They've been able to get themselves in the room with cool people, which is awesome. That's a fantastic thing to do. But now it's like, well, but hold on, how do I still keep the lights on? And have a little bit more control over the income, because both of this, spec isn't always bad, and but we still have to keep the lights on, and figuring out that balance is definitely something I'd say we run across often with guys that are in London or Nashville or in LA, that are kind of playing both in both sandboxes. So that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So now that you've been in for a while, what are things like now? Any specific wins, what you've been able to learn or accomplish or get clarity on, whatever you want to share?
Yeah, loads of great wins. It's definitely the like joining is the best thing I did for business. I got two milestones in my career. One's joining a songwriting program years ago that I'm still in touch with now, working for as part of it. That's the best thing I did for my songwriting. And then joining Dark Label, 100%. I tell everyone about it. It just allowed me to figure out what I could actually give to people, where my value was. And by figuring out my own value and what I wanted to do, and the fact that it didn't have to be like, I remember you saying when we started, it was great. It was like, you don't have to be salesy. It was like, if you want to swear a lot, then fucking swear a lot, because you want to be attracting people that you want to work with. And if you're going to attract people that are upset about you swearing, then you're not going to enjoy that. And so, like, just be yourself, which is kind of one of the things that I really took to heart. Being myself, not the swearing. I mean, I do take that to heart as well. Um, so it just kind of helped me really see a way forward, and kind of just like with songwriting course, that gave me tools to how to get farther and how to like navigate certain roadblocks that I may have faced. This just gave me those tools to think, oh, cool, who do I actually want to work with? You don't always ask yourself that because you're so like, I just want people to, I want to support myself through music, so I'll just take anything. And then you're working on stuff that you don't like with maybe people that you don't connect with, and you're like, why am I putting in all this work? Because you put in so much more work doing music than you would at a normal job, really, for what is a fraction of probably the payback to begin with. So it really helped me narrow in. So I was doing less, but loving it more.
Awesome. So before you came in, what percentage was like spec work versus paid before Dark Label?
Percentage, I'd say it was probably like, fluctuating between 20 and 40 to fucking probably like 60, 70% spec sometimes. Um, Whereas now yeah, it's pretty much the other way. Like, if I take something on spec now, it's got to be like really worth it, because I've managed to find the people that I love to work with and adding value, and I've got so much more of a connection with them that I put in more work to that. And so for me to put in the same amount of work on anything else, it just has to be really, really worthwhile. So it's a great shift.
And I assume with the artists that are on Spec that you're collaborating with and trying to help grow, it's easier to do that when you don't have to worry about bills.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Versus the other way around, what I see with people that get into only Spec work is they can burn out because it's like, man, I'm doing all this work, and on top of that, I also have to go figure out a way to get my bills paid. So it's just, I sense a lot of like, there's some producers I've sat down with before, and it was just, they felt completely out of control, you know?
Oh, 100%. Like I was doing 5 sessions a week, and that would be like an 85% finished, write the song, produce the song, get it 85% of the way there, like on the day, working till like 11, 12 at night. I'm glad I did it because it gave me some great chops or whatever, but it's just not sustainable.
Right. So you're just kind of looking for the next step in the journey. Two-part question. So why did you decide to, there's a lot of different, there's courses, there's different things out there. There's other people that do what we do. Why did you decide on Dark Label and to have a business kind of coaching approach? And what was your biggest fear about jumping in and doing it?
I guess I like the coaching approach in terms of, having you there. If you need something, you can just reach out and get on a call. Like the community around it as well, I found really appealing. A bunch of other people that love spending all their time doing music who are trying to figure out how to reach their goals is a great supportive network to have. I loved that you were coming from a place of business, but also that you had the history in the songwriting team of music, and also that being your niche to help other musicians. It wasn't just like trying to appropriate a business marketing program into what we do. It was like you kind of did that and you've done that. So it kind of, you had a good grasp, at least from our call, that you knew what you were doing with that. And then I guess the fear is, you don't really know until you try something. I knew that I wanted to grow and to, improve and shift the dynamics, the perspective of how I saw my own career as well, in terms of how it could help people and what I felt like I deserved. So I guess worried that not all of it would have come true or whatever, I guess, or just
fear of the unknown.
Yeah, the investment, it's like when you're not making as much money as you want, and then you're investing
more money,
yourself, right? More money in something else.
It's counterintuitive. Yeah,
it is, exactly. But it's
heads up to anyone watching this. There's no way for the bank account to not go down first when making an investment. Think about it. If you're buying a piece of real estate, if you're buying stock, the bank account always goes down first before it goes back up when you're investing in growing something. So,
and it
seems scary.
Yeah, it's such a small amount. I always tell people, like I bought a really fucking awesome computer for my studio that was a lot of money, but I wouldn't be able to go and open a cafe with $5,000. Like it would just be impossible. Whereas now you can buy Logic for $200. You can buy a computer for $2,000. You can, invest in the business side of things, and you'll still be way under that, but yet you've got a business to go on. So it's peanuts in comparison to what other businesses take to start.
Right. I forgot to ask this earlier, because we were talking about the percentage of Spec to paid. Your rate wise versus, what you were charging before to now. What's been the increase there? You can give specific numbers, or just it's doubled, or what, what?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say
I can't remember what it was at when you started.
Yeah, I mean, in some cases it would have like tripled for sure. Like I think some songs I was doing before for like 500, 700 pounds, and now be like 2 to 2.5 on projects. So yeah, I mean, the proof's right there that it works.
Cool. Well, last question here is, I know you're short on time. I don't want to cut into your dinner. Thanks again for hopping on and doing this.
Anytime,
just advice to other people that may have been stuck in your same situation before you dived in. Maybe they're great. They're working with some cool people. They're all on Spec, and but they feel like it's just not where they want to be. What advice would you give to them that isn't just, hire Dan, but
Yeah.
from you, if I didn't exist, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, I think as soon as you feel uncomfortable, you're probably doing something right. Like before I started trying to connect more with people online, I'd never done any stuff to camera and it scared the shit out of me. And now coming onto camera and seeing me like giving people an insight into how I view music and my whole creative process seems very, very natural in comparison. So that felt scary. And also, it's not going to be easy, but you can be as creative with the business side of things and growing your business as you are with music. There shouldn't be like a divide. And as soon as you remove that divide, all of a sudden you can actually enjoy doing all of this business stuff, because it's not taking away from your time of being creative. It's actually just amplifying it and maximizing
Amen, man. True.
it.
Truer words have never been spoken. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, absolutely. And I know you haven't paid me to do it, but fucking definitely jump on board with Dan, because he's a G and he knows exactly
You
what
snuck
he's
it in there.
talking
Even I
about.
told you twice not to sneak it. Appreciate you, man. Well, cool.
You can cut it before that.
Oh no, I'll leave it. Cool, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you doing this. All right.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate everything you're doing for us. So anytime.